Hi there, it's Connie-Rae. Welcome to ConnieRae'sCraftRoom.com. Today's craft share is this cute Paisley and Posie card that I have coloured in with Prismacolor pencils, and I've used the stamp set from Stampin' Up, which is the Paisley and Posie set, which is this one here, and I've used this little icon here to stamp it all over and then colour it in. I have also used the Woodwords Sentiment, A Note for You, which is there. So you need those two stamp sets to get going with, and the rest of it I'll just cover as I go. I have actually stamped this onto crumb cake. So you're going to need, for your base card, you're going to need crumb cake base card, which is 5.5 at 4 1/4, and I've placed a white mat underneath, which is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8, which is a white mat, and then I've done the card front, which is 5 inches by 3 6/8, and that's using my favorite all-time W+9 Sunshine Layers die, which cuts out the little scallopy edge, and puts the stitching on it. So if you haven't got that though, your measurement for that will be 5 by 3 6/8, which will make that white card behind just stand out that little bit nicer. But if you've got this set, I like being able to cut my frames out. It just seems to be nicer on the card front. It just looks prettier if you can cut it out, but if you can't, just cut it normally at 5.5 by 3 6/8. So to get started with, we will grab your cardstock. Just get a piece of scratch paper so you can stamp all over it. I have used, in this instance, I've actually used Distress Oxide to stamp with because I like the chalky way that it actually dries off. However, you can use crumb cake colour. It doesn't really matter. You can stamp it in any colour you like. But for me, I liked it in this, well, I was trying it out, to be honest, as a stamping item. So, and I liked it. I liked the finish. It's kind of got a chalky finish to the actual stamping. So yeah, it was good. And the other little icon I've used is a flower, a leaf, but I'll show you that in a second. So what we want to do is just get stamping. So you're just doing random stamping. You're not doing anything unusual, any technical difficulties, nothing like that. We're just stamping randomly wherever you feel like stamping. And if you miss a bit, try not to miss a bit, but you know, if you do, you can colour it in with a brown pencil. It's fine. So stamping on and off the page as well, giving it a bit of design. Just randomly. It's such a pretty colour the way that it came out, so I was really happy with it. And the colouring in pencils, the Prisma colouring in pencils, I really like them. They're very soft core, so, and they sort of go on like oil. So if you can get some of them, it would be really handy to have some in your supplies when it comes to just plain colouring in. It should be a lot of, it's just really enjoyable when you can colour easily. Because I know with Copic markers and things like that, it can be a bit challenging if you're not used to it, and I'm not really good at colouring in. I just sort of make my way with it. So, but you know, you just got to practice. That's just the way that it is. You just got to keep at it and it will come. Okay, so the little icon that I'm using is the little flowery icon of the Paisley and Posie set. It's just that little icon there. It's a little leaf kind of icon, I should say. So, and I've just randomly popped that in as well in lots of different angles. Just completes your card to be honest. It fills in the gaps just nicely so that you've got this gorgeous finish. There we go. So as you can see, it's all covered now in my little icons from that set. And all I've done is randomly coloured in, and I have used the Prismacolor orange, which is Prismacolor 918, and I've used the Prismacolor blue, which is PC 903, and I've also used the purple violet. Sorry, I should tell you the names. The blue one's actually called Blue Frank, orange one's called Orange, and the violet is PC 932, and that's called Violet. And they're the colours that I've used to colour it in. So I've just gone round keeping the shape of the little, I'll show you here, there's some little, well, that didn't stamp too well. Oh, that's all right, I can go over that with my pencil. This one's stamped all right here. So you can see, if you look closely, there's like a pattern of the stars. So I just went round keeping the shape of the little star pattern there and coloured in that layer in there. That's all I've done. So I'll just show you that up close so that you can see it. And of course some embellishments as well. But let me see if I can get it in focus for you. You know how I am with these things. Oh, we're getting there though. Oh, come on. There we go. You can see how I've just gone around that layer with the colouring. So it's really quite easy to do. Nothing. It doesn't take any time whatsoever. So I'll go around with the blue. And I have to say, it's just like these, as I said, these pencils are just so smooth when you use them. They're just so much fun to colour with. You can't go wrong, seriously. And if you're not good at colouring, these are the perfect place to start, I think anyway. I find them very easy to use. And the other thing I like about them is the vibrancy of the colours that come out. They just stand out on beautifully. They're very vibrant colours. Because it's all about colouring in these days, isn't it? Everybody loves to colour in. So, yeah, and it's a very therapeutic kind of tool, isn't it? When we've been busy and stressed. I find it very relaxing anyway. So there you go. As you can see how bright and beautiful that is, and how it just decorates the whole card with its vibrancy. I think they're just beautiful colours. I'm going to do the violet colour. Again, just going around that star. You don't want to go any further than the star. And I was thinking, like, making Christmas cards and stuff like that. But this time of year, we're always making Christmas cards and doing a lot of crafting stuff in relation to Christmas. But to be honest, you know, like, you've still got other things that you need to, other people and things going on in life other than Christmas. And you may not celebrate Christmas the way that some people do. So sometimes you just want to be thankful and give somebody a note. Just say thank you for the year that you've had with them. So this is kind of like a really nice, colourful, unusual looking card that kind of does that. And I do love the Paisley and Posie set. It's just beautiful. It was a very popular one when it first came out. I don't know if it still is, but I remember when it first came out, it was just like addictively to look at, and I loved it. It was one of my first ones, I think, when it came out with Stampin' Up. Got the New Occasions catalogue pre-order going in tomorrow, so demonstrators can actually do that as of tomorrow. The items in the pre-order, you've probably seen some things floating around. The items in the pre-order will be available to demonstrators, so we can put our order in, and I'll be bringing you some interesting stuff out of that. And also, it's the freebie time, so we get lots of awesome freebies at this time of year with every purchase that you make. I think it's $90 qualifying, so you've got to keep your eyes open for that one too. And there's some gorgeous stuff running around. There's been some pictures of some that I've already seen on the PDFs, and there's these little pandas, and it's a free set, and there's these little black and white pandas, and I just love them. It's going to be my first selection after my qualifying order, because I love pandas. When I was a kid, I didn't have a teddy bear. I actually had a panda. So that was my first choice of my free item that I'm selecting when I put my order in tomorrow. And of course, if you were at the Onstage Live with Stamping Up, you would have already had that, received some of those items and some of the orders, and that's why you get to see some of the items that are floating around. So stay tuned, guys, because it's always the best. Well, there's a few events that Stampin' Up have every year, and they are eventful and they're big, and all the Stampin' Up fans die to hang out for them. You've got the occasions catalogue and the celebration items, which carry the free items at this time of the year, and it starts on January, and you can purchase right up until on that one, or March, end of March, I think. And then you've got, then everybody just holds their breath and waits for the new catalogue that comes out in June, into financial year. And then you've got, after that, you've got a bit of a lull again, and you've got the Christmas catalogue launch. And of course, in between, there's all these little extravaganzas and stuff that they actually promote. So there's constantly something happening for a company, and it's just, I don't know how they produce what they do with all the stuff that they've got. They've got so many wonderful items that are so good, and so many big, what am I trying to say? Big, beautiful designs, and you know, you just can't. I can't. If I had the money, I would be buying everything, I'm sure. But as a hobbyist, I can't afford to do too much. But as a hobbyist demonstrator per se, I actually do what I can. In terms of when I make my selections, I think, ooh, and even then I always go over budget, always. I'm really shocking. But, you know, it's really worth it. It's a good quality item. They're good product items, they're good quality, and they're really reasonably priced. So, you know, you can't really lose no matter what you do, I think, anyway. I mean, look at this card. It's just beautiful. They don't sell these pencils. These pencils I actually got from... I think I got them off eBay. If you just look up the Prisma coloured pencils, I'll show you the lid of these ones that I've got, which is this one here, the Prisma colour. If you just look up that on eBay, you'll find they've got a few in different colours and different sets, the sets themselves. This is just a basic set of 12, which covers my needs for now, but they have got bigger sets. But they are really beautiful colours, as you can see. Like, they're just really easy to work with, and they just stick out no matter what colour. So I'll leave the colouring in at that. That's basically what I have done. I've just gone around and coloured all of the around the little stars to give it that effect. So I'll leave it at that so that I don't hold you up for too long. And then I have gone ahead and I have used my die, which has got the scallop edge, and I've gone around and I've cut it out using that, and it's given me the edge that I wanted, and then I put that over the white and laid it down on top of the white. I've also gone ahead and made my note, my stamp, which is this one, and it's, I think I've shown you already, it's in Woodwords, a note for you, and I've already cut that out, and I've embossed it using Versamark white embossing powder, and I cut it out using, I've got this little die set that does frames, and this is a stitched one, and it cut it out perfectly. It gives that little stitched edge on the bottom, so that's really handy. So with all that being said, I've just stuck that on with tiny small dimensionals, which you will need, and large dimensionals to stick this down. And I've stuck the front of this down onto the white cardstock with Tombow, just to make sure I got it aligned, and then dimensionals to put the white layer down on the cardstock, what's the name of it? The crumb cake. So that's basically all I've done. And then last but not leastly, I've done the actual embellishments using our I haven't put them all on because I didn't want to use all of my embellishments up. But for this purpose, I will put some more on. So it's just the medium-sized ones. But, you know, this is a special card. This is a card that you're sending to somebody special. And this card probably won't go well in the mail because it will kind of bend a little bit, I think. I don't think it's going to be like, it will destroy the lumps on it. It will bulk up in the mail, so you don't want to send this one in the mail. That one's not sticking. I need a glue dot for that one. You want to be able to just hand deliver this one. Yep. Just putting a glue dot on the back of it. There we go. And that one. And what else? I don't suppose you really need. Don't suppose you really need to cover all of them. You can cover just partially if you wanted to. It's entirely up to you, I suppose. I might just put a little bit of balancer over there because that looks a little bit blank. That one there, oh, that's a bit too big, I think. If you've got the embellishments and you need to make a special card for somebody, this is a great opportunity to do so. There we go. I think that's enough. It's certainly full of beautiful embellishments, that's for sure. So there you go. That's it. So thank you very much for joining me. I do hope you enjoyed this tutorial. It does take a little while, and I didn't want to take up too much time filming it, but it is very straightforward, but it does look really stunning. So again, thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you soon for a new tutorial that I'm probably just working on as we speak, but still working on it per se. Okay, thanks for joining me. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.